Hey there, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. Today we got a kind of a cool test. A lot of used subwoofers out there on the market, and you gotta be careful when you buy these things. Make sure they're not blown up, and maybe we'll kind of go over some of the things that you can do to check these things out. Test to make sure that you're not buying junk, because subwoofers wear out, man, and there's some good deals to be had. So we're gonna test two Kicker subwoofers. We're gonna basically test their middle, the comp R's versus the comp Q's. And the comp Q's are definitely a competition level, high excursion, woofer. So this is what we've got here. These are the comp Q's, okay? This is a comp R box made for 12s, but there's 10s in it, okay? And there's a big difference in these things. So here's the comp Q's. Here's the comp R's. These are what we've been testing things with, and these are in a sealed box. And obviously this is a ported box. So kind of gone over some of the specs here. Okay, so the comp Q's are. We're not going to show you that. You don't need to see that. In fact, let me get rid of that. We're not going to talk about what amp we're using on these just yet, but the comp Q's are $279 a piece without a box, okay? So that's $558. They RMS power is 700 watts each, so you need big power. So box-wise, you're looking at sealed 0.66 to 1.25 cubic feet per driver. Okay, that's reasonable. That's not that big. And then ported is 1.25 to 2.25 per driver. So the box that we have, it's a ported box, is 1.5 cubic feet per driver, 3 cubic feet total for the comp Q's. So then our comp R's, they're on sale like right now for $112 a piece, and that's less than half. I mean, that's 40% of the price on those things. Okay, now they only handle 400 watts RMS, but I say only is, that's still a ton of power. That's 800 watts, for a pair of these things. And the recommended box is a little bit well, I'm gonna say bigger. Sealed is they said 0.8. And ported box was 1.75 a driver maximum. So it's interesting that they had a maximum that was that small. And as tested, the box was 0.8 per driver, 1.6 total. And again, that's a sealed box, not a vented box. So, there's a big difference in price on these things. So we're gonna start off and we're gonna run some stuff with these and see what we got. All right, we're gonna give you some music here.
I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign. I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign. I wanna be the greatest. Everybody on the station, I look around and feel like everybody is the fakest. I make this. Everybody on the station,
All right, those things are powerful. I mean, those things pound. So, all right, next test, we're going. All right, so we got the comp R's all hooked up. Give those things a whirl.
I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign.
can see, that amp's putting out some decent power. I think it's kind of the max of what it can do. And I also think that the gains weren't optimized for this vintage Alpine 590. This is a 5903 head unit. So we were seeing a little bit of clipping on it. But I really don't think those comp R's can handle a shit ton of power. They seem to be a lot more happy on, I don't know, say 300 or 400 watts a pair. We were running another small monoblock amp on them. I think it was putting out, somewhere like around 400 watts, whereas that thing was, peaking 6, 7. It saw on one test like 700, 800 watts. So a lot of the rattle you hear is actually that thing. It moved on the bench. You can see it's crooked. It actually, well, that box was was bouncing around. So, anyways, in conclusion, I'm gonna say, what do you want to do? Okay. Realistically, what are you looking to do? If you want a big SPL system and you want just to pound that thing, man, those Q series, those things can handle a ton of power, more than what we were able to give them. On our system here, we really don't have the power to get over 13 volts to these things. I wasn't really looking at the amp meter to see how much we were drawing, but it had to be 100 something amps. So but I'll tell you what, if you're into reasonable bass levels and you want something that pounds, keep in mind these are 10s, right? So we've got some SPL numbers, and we'll throw those up right here. A comparison of the two. Keep in mind, this is in a building. In a car, the SPL numbers would be outstanding. I mean, I would say that with this amount of power in these subwoofers, I mean, no reason why we shouldn't be in the high 130s, maybe even 140 at dBs. So don't be fooled by those numbers. But again, there are two different things. What do you want? The Q series don't play as high of frequencies. You really want to cross those things over, 80 or less hertz, whereas the other ones, you might want to run them a little bit higher, maybe 100, which I think is going to blend into your mids and highs better. So, if you want to pound down the boulevard, man, I tell you what, you can't beat the Q series. But tell you what, for the price and the quality and the sound, the comp R's sound great. They tend to, in my opinion, with our mids and high setups that we have here on the bench, they tend to blend in a lot better with the crossover frequencies that the high end and the subwoofers are happy with. I think if you're going to run the comp Q and you really want them to blend well, you're going to need some really good mid bass to pick up where the Q series fall off. But Kicker makes good stuff. I know there's cheaper stuff out there, but I'll tell you what, for the price, those comp R's, you can't beat them. And so I'm going to say if it was my system that these were all going into, I would probably go with the comp R's. And if you want more bass, maybe step it up to the 12-inch. So in my personal ride, I've got the 10-inch comp RTs, which are the shallow ones. And right now, I'm going to try running a little bit more power to them, but as now, I'm not really all that impressed with it. I was running a single 12, that was an MTX, low profile. Now I got the 210s, and I really thought there was going to be a significant increase, but, might end up going up to 12s. We're going to try it with a little bit more power first. But anyways, again, the choice is yours, but, if it was my money being spent and I wasn't looking for just all-out SPL, I'd go with the comp R's. So anyways, hey, thanks for watching. This was just a quick video. Hey, don't forget to like, subscribe, and all that cool stuff. So a lot more. Hey, by the way, I need to point out something. Okay? That box setup right there, okay? I bought it off a marketplace. $175. No joke, right? And, the woofers are still nice and tight. And This box here with the two woofers and the box, I bought it with another amp, and it was $200, and I sold the other amp for $125. So I'm 75 deep into that setup, which is super cool. And those things were brand new. In fact, they were wired wrong, and I think that's what happened. So the guy didn't think they were very good. And by the way, these were wired wrong too. These are I believe they're 2 ohm voice coils on these things, and they were wired to 8 ohms. So this dude's running a 1,000 watt monoblock to it at 8 ohms. So if you want to check out used woofers, always take them out of the box, smell them, okay, and push on the cone. If they make a kunk, 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 kunk sound, they're junk, okay? Because a lot of times you might not be able to test them out. So check that out. Smell them, look at them, make sure there's no holes poked in the surrounds, or a lot of times I see these things with cracks in them and whatnot. So be aware of that. So, anyways, thanks for watching. Give it a thumbs up. Appreciate it.